what the hell's going on out there today? Well, our office has acquired a new piece of furniture. Yes, look at this. Happened to be going out to a thrift store, saw this sitting there. Look at that. How fucking cool is that? That's right, I said it. How fucking cool is that? That's awesome. Yes, and we got our American Graffiti Girl standing right there. Anyway, so we've acquired that. So we're always adding something to the shop. Always adding something. So let's see what's going on out here. So, as you can see, I've cut the inner fender part off of the old Charger here because it was quite rusted, and we've had to do some rust repair. I fabricated and made up this piece here that goes across here. Did a little patchwork just down in here, cut it out, but welded it in. So that's this whole, I don't know if you can see this, but this whole thing was wobbling around before. So we got that out. We got the inner fender out of there. And around the back here. So trunk pan is still out, but I did finish off. If you guys can see up in there, I don't know if you remember, it was all rusted in the sail panels. Cut it all out. Took care of that. Like I say, the floor is still out of the trunk because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in here, kind of blast up all this area, and then we're going to put like a nice rust mort treatment in there. On the here, hang on guys, my film sucks. On the inside, not on top of this rail part here that you see me pointing to. On top of this part, I would do a weld through primer because the floor, as you can see the old spot welds. It spot welds down to this. So if I spray that, it's just going to catch on fire and burn. Plus, I'm not going to be able to weld very good. So I still have to get in there and clean that up. I don't just throw the floor over top of that and forget about it. Why would you? You're in there. Spend a couple hours. Clean it up. The fuck are you thinking? Clean it. God almighty, you go through that kind of trouble to cut it out? Fix it. Anyway, then I put all the back pan on. Yes, this car's got some rust in it. But you know what? Everything's got rust. And so what? You fix it, you repair it, there you go. Will it come back again? Sure as shit it'll come back again. Rust is there, man. It never disappears. It just is there. But it ain't going to come back hopefully in our lifetime, right? Let's hope not. You do what you can do. You blast, you cut, you dip, you do whatever it is you're going to do. But, I mean, it's irrelevant. You get a chip, down the bare metal, you happen to get some water in there, what does the water do? Water gets on the metal, it starts to rust. What happens with the water? It seeps in behind everything. It's just the way it goes. It's a piece of metal that's used for transportation, that's out in the weather, so be it that you drive. Everything is eventually going to get a little rust in it, unless you leave it in the garage and you make it a trailer queen. But that's the nice thing about it, is you spend some time, some money, you fix it up the way you want, you drive that son of a bitch, you have some fun with it, and 30 years down the road when it's got a little rust, you redo it again, or you let the next guy. You keep it going so these people know what it's all about, so they can learn the tricks, so they can have some fun. Because shit, it is fun restoring cars, is it not? Wait a minute, let me think about that. I'll get back to you on that one. Yes, Lisa's Merc's uncovered over there. Maybe we'll catch her in the action later. Yeah. She's doing something over there to it. She's not there right now, but she's doing something. I don't know what she's doing, but she's playing with it again. She's back on track. So there we go. Look what came in here. Want to talk about rust? Here we go. Here's some more rust for you. 63 Fleetside short box. So, I've actually never seen one rust up underneath there. So, I've never actually seen one rusted up in here. Anyway, whatever. Whatever. See across there, all across in here. The door. See the door down there? Oh, wait a minute, there is no door. No. Typical on these Chevys. Always, every one of these Chevys, if you don't know these Chevys from the 60 to 66, they all got the same spot. The bloody stopper inside the door always either snaps or breaks or just lets it go too far. These doors have a habit because they're so heavy they swing open, and look at, crunch right into this nice line is where that happens. Every one of these bloody trucks do it. This gentleman brought it in. He wants us to do everything. He's taking care of the mechanical issues of it, but he wants us to do all the rust repair, all the paint repair, everything. I think he's got an LS motor going in it. Look at that. That door must have done it first, and this door said, hey, I'm going to join you. Wait up. I would just leave them there. We should just leave them there anyway. That's matching. That's how they came factory. That way there when the door does swing open too far, it won't matter anymore. It ain't going to touch the paint, right? So this door is not quite as bad. There we go. So someone's done some old brazing here back in the days. He's got some aftermarket fenders he's thrown on there. Now he's just thrown it together so he can bring it over here. Everything is loose on this truck. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spend a half a day probably. I'm going to bolt everything together properly. Not the box. I don't give a shit about the box. The box is a separate piece all on its own. But I'm going to bolt all the doors properly on. Align everything properly before I begin starting to cut the rust out. If I was going to start on it, if anything, I could start on the roof because it really doesn't matter. It doesn't line up with anything up there. But I want to line it up because you got to have things lined up before you start cutting. You got to see how it fits. That's what you got to do. You just have to, or at least in my eyes you do. You can't bring something in that's in a million pieces and just start cutting and welding and there you go. You don't know. You got to see how it fits because I don't care who you are, what you say. Everything, in my opinion, when you're dealing with cars from the early 60s down, all fit a different way. Because back then, they actually had people hands-on putting these things together. It wasn't machinery like it is nowadays. So everything fit a little different. So we try and fit it the best we can, and then we know where to go. Oh, she's even got some rust up in here. Wow. Anyway, that's what's going on. So there's a new project right there. Yeah, we got another little short box Chevy pickup over here. This is going to rebuild the diff. It needs new coils. It needs ball joints. It needs idler arm, tie rod ends. It needs a tune-up. It needs a heater fan hooked up. It needs a heater core hooked up. Oh, it needs a whack of stuff, this little pickup over here. Gentleman brought it into me and gave me a list and said, I'm not in a panic. There you go. So that's what's going on with that. And I think that is about all that's happening here right at the moment. Peter's truck cab. I'm getting a swarm of these trucks. There's Peter's cab over there. It's all prepped inside, ready to go for paint. We're actually going to be taking care of that next week. He's picked out a gorgeous blue with a nice metallic in it, and he's going to go a white top. So that is what's going on, guys. So there's your update. Hey, big thumbs up to all you subscribers out there. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. I wish I could remember every single person's name. It's funny when I look at the write-ins at the end and we write back to you guys, I all know you. But when I'm sitting here doing the videos, I can't remember the names. I'm so sorry. But it's all good. Indy, Chuck, I haven't talked to you in a long time. You must be going to the car shows, cruising the circuit in that Pontiac, my friend. Tell me, are you still working on buses or what the hell's going on? Hey, big shout out to Indy Chuck. Check him out. He's got a couple videos up there too. He likes going around to the shows down there and taking some videos and he puts them up. Okay, guys, remember, it's always a good time at all time, and we will see you next time.